It's like a Shrek build. He's got these big hands and he's like hiding behind the barrier, but his hands like sticking out. And I'm like, bro, that's easy. That's Dricus. Doom.
This is the Schmo with the pro, with the head honcho here at Xtreme Couture, Mr. Eric Nicksick in the flesh. How we doing?
Wrapping up a long week, but fight week next week, man. Can't wait.
It's the calm before the storm. Not a single soul right now here inside the building. What's going on? You scare everybody away for the long weekend, Memorial Day weekend?
Well, you know, I'm going to be here grinding one way or another. So long Friday, we finish up early, wrap up. So all the boys go home and then, do it again tomorrow.
When we head into New Jersey, UFC 302.
We're going to do practice here on Monday, and then we're going to fly out Tuesday morning.
So let's start with the man, Sean Strickland. He's fighting Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's been spending his training camp here in Las Vegas. Sean Strickland, we know he works here. We know he gets his work over at the PI. Those two been able to avoid each other or what?
Oh, I'm sure they have, man. But, to be honest with you, I don't think there's a lot of bad blood between those guys. They're professionals. They understand what their job is. And at the end of the day, man, they're prize fighters. They're trying to get paid. They get paid in the cage, not in the PI.
What's been the approach for Sean Strickland during this fight camp? Because obviously he would want that rematch with Dricus Du Plessis to fight for the title. This isn't a title fight, but are you looking at this? You take care of business against Paulo Costa, the title shot's next?
Absolutely. That's the way I feel. I think that, you can make an argument for Sean to have that immediate rematch. The way the landscape is with the middleweight division, I think Sean gets a good win, especially emphatically. I think it puts him right back in the title picture.
What do you think Paulo Costa does well that you're going to be avoiding come fight night with Sean inside the cage?
Oh, he's a menace when he gets you back up to the cage. When he gets you backed up to the barrier, that's when I think that, his name, the Eraser, is very prevalent. He's trying to put your lights out. So it's going to be important not to back yourself up into the cage, man. He's very, very good there. He's very dynamic. When you watch him with Robert Whittaker, of course, like the kicks come from anywhere, but they come fast too. So you got to make sure that you're not in a position where you're leaning or you're putting yourself in a bad spot position-wise.
You just said his name, Robert Whittaker. He's fighting Khamzat Chimaev later on this summer. Robert Whittaker, maybe if he gets the victory, they might skip over Strickland and give him the title shot. But what do you think is going to be the challenge for Khamzat Chimaev fighting this guy, a top middleweight contender, someone that he has not faced in terms of upper echelon talent in middleweight division yet so far in his career?
Pacing. It's going to be pacing for him and understanding that it's going to be a 5-round fight. So, where do you find your pit stops, not trying to just, gas pedal somebody for the first 2 or 3 rounds and then see his cardio decimate, understanding like where you can rest, where you can set yourself up position-wise. Khamzat is so good at blending his level changes into his striking. That was something that I learned a lot by watching him and holding pads for him. And when he gets guys guessing on where that hand placement goes, but he doesn't need to always think about, and I think this is just ingrained because early on in his career, he was putting guys away in the first, minute, right? So I think it's going to be important knowing that the upper echelon guys in that division are going to be hard to put away in that first minute. So, have your explosives, minute or two, and then understand where to slow it down to understand the pacing of the fight in a 25-minute, 5-round fight.
It hasn't been officially official, but everyone assumes that the title fight's going to be Dricus Du Plessis against an Israel Adesanya. You've prepared for both these men. When you look at this matchup, who do you think has most advantages going into that one between the two of them?
You got to give respect to Dricus because, I think all of us didn't really think he was going to be able to even get past Robert Whittaker. And he did it, man. And not only did he do it, I think when you look at the way Dricus has developed over the last 4 or 5 fights, he's only gotten better. And, I actually talked to him quite a bit now. We were playing paintball over at Bilzerian's one day. He's a stand-up individual, man. He's a solid guy, but he's a very smart in when it comes to his approach of the game. And you have this conversation with him and you understand his intellect. You're like, he understands what he's doing purpose-wise with his striking, how he's setting things up. So I think when you have that kind of ideologies with your game, it's only going to help you with a guy like Izzy, right? Because Izzy is a chess player as well. So, and I'm looking forward to see Izzy's comeback, man. Like, he didn't look the same. He didn't look right. Didn't look the same against Sean. I can say that, hey, Sean went out there and did his thing. Sean makes a lot of people look bad. But this guy's been sitting on it for almost a year now, coming up till September. I want to see him come back, man. I want to see him come back with a vengeance and see how he's prepared for this fight as well.
Did you get the revenge for Sean Strickland against Dricus Du Plessis on the paintball field, or what?
Headshot, got him. See, here's the thing with Dricus. Dricus is like a Shrek build. He's got these big hands, and he's like hiding behind the barrier, but his hand's like sticking out. And I'm like, bro, that's easy. That's Dricus. Doom, shot him in the hand. Next time, he's like running, like they just send him running across the field. Like, come on, bro. And we just headshot, got Dricus. So that was payback.
Got the payback indeed.
Yes.
Let's talk about other guys. No shortage of guys that you oversee here at Xtreme Couture. Paulo Soriano, he's going down to welterweight. He's got a big fight against Miguel Baeza. What's been like him training, going from middleweight down to welterweight?
Oh man, like, so here's the thing. Puna's always been a professional guy, like, but he never really had to cut weight. And he was able to just kind of do things just by, you know, he could eat whatever he wanted, he could train whatever he wanted. But now, like, he just feels like this full-fledged pro when it comes to his diet, his nutrition, his cardio, and everything else. Man, this guy's been all in. He's been all in. He's been looking amazing. His weight's down. He's sitting at like 188 right now. I couldn't be happier for him. He seems like he's comfortable at this weight. Seeing him spar guys in the room in that weight class, he's doing great against them. So I can't wait to see him perform on June 8th.
And then in July, Manel Kape, someone that you've been working with, flyweight, big-time fight against Muhammad Bakayev. Maybe the winner of that fight gets the title shot. Manel Kape, ever since he's been in the UFC, he's been calling for an opportunity to fight for the title. But some people say maybe he's had issues cutting all the way down to 125. Why is that not going to be the case this fight? And do you think that if he wins in impressive fashion, he'll be the next one fighting for the flyweight title?
Man, I'm a don't tell me, show me guy. I don't want to sit here and tell you why. We need to prove it. You know, this guy's had, you know, this injury or this or missed weight, whatever. Bad luck in a lot of things, but I don't believe in that shit. We got to be prepared. We got to be ready to go because this is the title eliminator. They laid it out for him. Go out there and beat this kid. We're going to give you a title shot. So that's all I give a shit about. You know, I wish I can tell you all these things. When I see him in the room and what he's capable of, he's championship material. The things he does in here, a lot of people wouldn't even understand what he's doing striking-wise. His vision, his movement, his athleticism. I told him at the end of last year in September, 2024 flyweight champion of the world. Like, wrote it down for him every day. We talk about it. Saw him again today. We worked today. I'm like, yo, I'm just keep reiterating this in your head. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff in the past. We have to go prove him wrong right now.
Michel Pereira, one of the most electrifying men to step inside the UFC cage. He won in impressive fashion a couple weeks ago in Brazil, doing the backflips all the time. But ever since he's been going up to middleweight and working with you guys, what is he, 4-0, 5-0? The guy hasn't lost. What's been the secret to his success right here working with him?
Honestly, it's the room. You know, he's got guys like Chris Curtis and Sean and Brad Tavares. You know, he's got Sadabu. He's got all these guys in the room that I think are just bringing him along and helping him grow. And, you know, they're holding him accountable. I think when you start training by yourself and you're doing things on your own and, you know, maybe you have a coach or two that just kind of, what do you want to do today? It's like, nope, this is what we're doing today and this is why we're doing it. And you don't really have a choice. So to me, it's really the room, and he's jumped in, man, and he's been a part of the team and he's looked great because of it, and I couldn't be happier for him.
And obviously, we've been dealing with the tragedy with Francis Ngannou, the baddest man in the world. Any update with him? Where's his mindset at right now? Do you think he'll be getting some work in this summer back inside the cage?
I hope so. And again, like, for me, man, it's just no parent should ever have to go through anything like this. And, you know, whatever he decides, I'm going to have his back 110%. So I'm hoping that he's able to come back to Vegas sometime soon just to be able to see him, man, just give the dude a hug. I'm not too worried about anything that has to do on the professional side of things. I worry about my friend more than anything. So just getting him back home and just being able to kind of just be with him, man, I think is the most important part right now.
There's so many guys that you work with. Dan Ige, you brought up his name too. Brad Tavares, both those men have fights. Yeah. Strong men from Hawaii right there. Yeah. What do you think's been going on with those guys and why they're going to be in the W corner this summer?
Well, what do you got? July 20th. So both of them are booked. Brad Tavares, and then Dan will fight. He's got Brito. And then who does Brad have? The turtle guy. What was the guy's name?
Jun Young Park.
Yeah, so very favorable matchups for both of our guys. And then, you know, Brito, young, hungry killer, has been calling Dan's name out, I think, his last 4 or 5 fights.
Trying to get a taste of the rankings.
Trying to get a taste of the rankings. But, you know, you might be careful what you're asking for, man. So Dan's on a different level right now, and I'm excited to go see these guys perform.
When are we going to turn his nickname from 50K to maybe 100K?
Right? We need to come on, man. You know, like let's 300K. Let's start bumping that up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, hey, the 100K is there, right? Go get a fight of the night, and then maybe a performance bonus too, as well on top of it. Maybe the guy misses weight, one of those situations. So, yeah, hopefully he's got a new house and a new baby. So the 100K would be nice.
Certainly would be. Can we get a final message for all the Eric Nicksick fans out there worldwide?
Oh man, hey, you know, on the heels of the Francis situation, tell people you love them, man. You know, talk to your family. The fragility of life. There's small reminders in the world, and I think that you know, just more love out there. Spend time with your family. Be a real one.
Burn the boats. We're in the deserts. Things are heating up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's getting hot. Drink your water.
He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. Xtreme Couture. We're out.